Hey there everybody, how's it going? I've been at the end of my programs recently. Instead of writing a final post, doing a video blog because it's kind of a different way to think about things, and it's almost like a therapy to talk it out, the good and the bad. So I got my little notes here because we were talking today about Kenzai 2, which just got finished a couple days ago. So let's talk about it. This for me was a really good program. It happened in a very smooth time of year. There weren't any huge trips. There weren't any major illnesses or injuries. So it was really nice to have just a smooth 90 days. You don't realize sometimes how challenging it is to get just 90 clean days of activity without anything happening. It makes you realize how busy life actually is these days. So it was really good, and I made the most of it. I was tight in diet, really tight in exercise. Missed a few workouts here and there when I just ran out of time on a busy day, but we know that's going to happen. And it's not any one day that matters, it's the consistency. Getting it right most of the time is where you get your results. So feeling pretty good. In terms about physical effects, how did it work? Did it work? So for me, this program was all about slimming down, and I don't just mean body fat, but actually one of my big goals was to reduce some muscle mass that I had been carrying around since the weightlifting program that I did last year, Kenzai. And it worked very well. The first month I was a little worried because the mass, like the muscle was not moving. And I was just thinking, man, if I got myself bulked up for forever, but in month 2 and 3, it really started to go. I'm happy about that. Over spring of this year, I was just like making so much muscle that people would comment about it. They would stop me and say, "What are you doing?" You know, or ladies would say, "Your breasts are bigger than mine." It's not exactly what I really want to hear, especially for my build. I can get really stocky, and you just moving down the street and you feel like just a lump. It's not like a great look for someone who's not super tall and who is naturally kind of thick anyway. So I was able to, especially my upper body, my shoulders, arms, and chest, just get a lot of mass off. I'll unzip here. So at the beginning of this program, my shoulders would have been, out to here without flexing, and my shirt would have been really like this. Logo would have been all stretched like this. So I'm glad to have gotten some of that off. It's much more comfortable in daily life to be a little slimmer, especially with Aikido. It's good not to have so much mass in the way. It also makes you a little more graceful to not just be able to muscle your way through everything. So that's a very good result. Not typical. People don't usually want to lose muscle, but that was a big goal of mine. The thing that really helped that come off was the final month of running. I switched from jump rope, which I could see was just adding more and more mass to my shoulders and arms, and did a 100-kilometer challenge where I challenged myself to run in 1 month 100 kilometers. So that was 29 runs, each very small, just 3 or 4 kilometers, but it adds up, and that really got the muscle to mobilize. Mental effects. So at the beginning of this program, Kenzai 2, I was a bit scattered. I know that my creativity was down. I felt like I was kind of repeating the same actions again and again. And here at the end, with my diet and my exercise on track, I can make much more efficient use of the small creative powers that I have in any given day. The theory is that you only have at max 4 hours of really good work in you a day. And I think I'm getting there now. Whereas at the beginning of the program, when my diet was out of whack and I was just frazzled, I know I could probably make it an hour or 2 hours of good work in a day. So that's great. Feeling really good about that. My social challenge this time, I always try to do something different every program, was to upload an Instagram post every single day of the program. So 90 days, 90 Instagram posts. And I did it. 9 days in a row, no misses, no late posts. Even though there were a few coming in like 11:30 midnight, that's okay. That was interesting. Uploading a photo with a small caption is very lightweight. I was never, stressing about what to post. And in a given day, there's always something interesting visually happening that you can take a picture of. And the cool thing about looking back at my 90 posts is that you can see patterns, which is really in your face. It's very stark and visual. Like, for example, the first month of posts, there's a lot of like cookies and pictures of cookies and talking about cookies and talking about cravings. And then you start to see that die down because as you move into a program, your cravings ease up. The middle part, there's a lot of healthy food, and you can see the food getting simpler and simpler because when you are training, that first month when you're getting kind of back into simpler food, you're trying to make all these things like, how can I make a really fancy sauce that doesn't have a lot of calories? You're trying all these hacks. But then when you get a month 2 and 3 years, like, all right, just give it to me plain because you've kind of weaned yourself off of that need for so much flavor all the time. And there were a few days when I was just like, I have no idea what to post. And it kind of makes you dig deep, look around you and realize, you know what? Life is actually pretty interesting. Even things around your house are interesting if you look at them with the right lens. So it was great to have that little tug every day. I knew I had to show up for Instagram. But of course, it does get old. And I didn't love having to interact with social media every day. And definitely, I needed a break. So I take it a few days off and it feels great. But, you know, I'll be on there around there when I see a picture that's, you know, reasonably interesting. Okay, finally, what's ahead? So I'm feeling really good about the body fat and muscle right now. And my next goal is to work on flexibility. So I'm going to join Kenzai Reach in the new year. My flexibility has just been neglected because I've been sitting, making stuff. The downside of that is you're in front of the screen all day. And no matter how much you try and move or run or exercise, you just can't get the flexibility back without focused effort. So I'm looking forward to giving some time to that other side of health, which is being limber, having good range of motion, which makes you feel much, much younger, even more than having low body fat. All right, so thanks for listening. And if you're thinking about doing Kenzai Body 2, do it. Don't just repeat Kenzai Body 1 forever because there's so many different and new things to learn. Jump in there and challenge yourself to do something new.